Hey there, my wedding planning friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for clicking on my video. I'm Emily Summer. I'm a wedding planner based in Montana, and I make weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice. So this week we're going to switch it up a little bit, and rather than talking about specific wedding planning tips or advice, I've had some people reach out that are interested in becoming a wedding planner, and I thought it might be a good idea to do a video on kind of everything that you need to know if you're thinking about becoming a wedding planner. First of all, the first thing that you should do if you're thinking about becoming a wedding planner is to take time to understand what it is that you want to do. So there's a lot more that goes into being a wedding planner than a lot of people realize, and understanding the difference between a wedding planner and a wedding coordinator is a good place to start, which if you don't know the difference, I do have a video on that, and I will link that above for you to check out. So yeah, understanding the difference between the two of those and what exactly you see yourself doing and what you would like to do when it comes to wedding planning, because there are so many different levels and so many tiers of wedding planning that it's important to understand. You don't have to do all of them, for one, and if you do want to, you likely will want to specialize in one. Do you want to do full service planning, or do you want to just do day of? There are many planners that will do only full service and not day of at all, and some vice versa. So decide what it is that you see yourself doing, what it is that you feel like you would be best at, and what speaks to you in terms of the type of wedding planner that you want to be. Another thing to think about is your target market and maybe a niche. So perhaps you want to only work high-end weddings, or maybe you want to work with budget brides only and help them create a wedding on a smaller budget and still be able to bring to light the dream wedding that they always wanted, just on a smaller scale or budget friendly. There are a lot of different options here, so being able to really visualize and think through your goals and exactly what you want to do and be as a wedding planner is the absolute most important first step. Second, get experience. I'm sure this is probably a given, but make sure that you're getting a lot of experience before you even dive in and start your own business, or even take steps towards starting your own business. Experience is huge, and a lot of times that will probably come as unpaid experience for you, and that's okay. We've all had to kind of start somewhere, and whether that's shadowing a current wedding planner or being an assistant on a couple of weddings, getting any kind of experience you can that puts you in a wedding environment so that you can really understand what it takes to be a wedding planner, what the job description really is, and if that's something that you even want to do before you get too deep into it. So great ways to get experience is, like I said, shadowing under a current wedding planner and just getting experience with them, being their assistant. Once you have some professional experience with a professional wedding planner, offering to help friends and family with their weddings is a great way to get experience. Also, styled shoots. Styled shoots are huge. If you don't know what a styled shoot is, I'll probably be doing a video all about styled shoots at some point, which if that's something you want to see, let me know. But a styled shoot is basically bringing a bunch of wedding vendors together to create a wedding styled shoot. And the idea is that this photo shoot will mimic an actual wedding. So minus all of the timeline and management that goes into a wedding, you have all of the details, the flowers, the venue, your photographer, you as a planner, your table setting, really however in-depth you want to be with it. The idea is to create a little mini wedding and photograph it. So this not only is great for your portfolio so that you have work to show potential clients, but also a great opportunity to network with other vendors in the wedding industry. Networking is huge, and we'll get into that in a second, but styled shoots are a fantastic way to get your foot in the door in the wedding industry and gain some experience. It's also nice because you can understand what it takes to plan a wedding and like all the details that go into coordinating pickups and deliveries and rentals and all of that for a small scale and something that doesn't have a whole lot of pressure. So if you forget to order knives or something like that, like it's not going to be for a wedding that's going to be a client's expectations of you. It's just kind of a really good practice setting. Number 3, be legal. If you're starting a business, don't skip this step. I know a lot of people, it's not the glamorous part of owning a business, or especially a wedding planning business, and it's really important to make sure that you are entering into a business legally. Make sure that you are registering with the Secretary of State. Make sure that you're filling out all the proper paperwork that you need for your state. Do your research. It's different across the US. And just make sure that you are creating a legitimate business before you take any paid customers. On that note, also make sure that you are getting insurance, and do that early. The last thing that you want is to be inexperienced and get into a situation where maybe your contract had some sort of loophole and you get taken advantage of by a client, or something happens and they are trying to either not pay you or sue you or whatever it might be. Having proper backup and insurance, liability insurance, is really important. I think I pay like $30 a month for the liability insurance I have. So it's not anything crazy, and it just keeps you nice and covered. Number 4 is marketing is everything. This is probably a given, but marketing is huge, and an online presence is really the most important factor when it comes to marketing your wedding planning business. I think something like 84% of couples book their wedding vendors based on their online presence. So whether they're finding them via social media or website, or they're booking them and realizing that they like them based on how their social media presence or internet presence is. So it's very important to make sure that you are actively using social media, showing your work, interacting with your audience, answering questions that people have about weddings, and just being really active on portraying exactly what it is that you do, your passion for your job. That speaks volumes, and just making sure that you have a really strong online presence is the best marketing that you can do in the wedding industry. Also, this isn't really a thing right now, but when COVID's not a thing, wedding fairs and expos are a great way to get exposure when you're just starting out, and it's also a good opportunity to network with other vendors as well. So if you've never been to a bridal fair or bridal show, basically it's an event where vendors from all across the wedding industry will have a booth in one large space, and brides and couples that are planning weddings will come there and walk around each booth and learn about all the wedding vendors. It's a great place to showcase your work and to get your name out there, hand out business cards, and whether you book a wedding or not, it's just a good way to let people see your name and get your name out there. Number 5, create your packages and get a really good sense and understanding of your pricing before you start to take clients. You want to understand your skill set and price yourself accordingly. So if you're just starting out, you're not going to be able to book clients for the same price that wedding planners in your same area are charging when they've been doing it for 5+ years. That being said, you also don't need to totally undercut the competition. If you're just the cheapest option, that's the type of clientele that you're going to attract. And if that's something that you want, then go for it. However, if you're trying to book higher end clients, if you're trying to sustain the competition, you want to price competitively. So you're probably going to price yourself on the lower end, but it doesn't mean you have to completely undercut everybody else and just be the cheapest option. You also want to create your packages early on so that you're consistent. Something that I experienced when I first started was the way that I was pricing myself, I realized wasn't really the best way to do so once I had already gotten started. And so then I had to go back and recreate packages and my pricing, and it was difficult to stay consistent with the inquiries that were coming in. So I was sending off pricing information for certain clients that didn't really work for other clients, and it wasn't very consistent. And I found that creating packages and then being able to customize those packages was the best way for me and the clientele that I was receiving. And so just understand how you want to price yourself and just stay consistent with your pricing formula. And also, if you're having packages, just make sure that that's staying consistent across the board so that you're giving all of your clients the same pricing information. Also understand it's okay to say no. I think when you start a business and you're trying to make money, it's easy to want to just say yes to everything that comes your way. And I've been there. I totally understand that. That's not necessarily the best route to go, though. If you feel like you're not vibing with a couple, or what they're wanting isn't something that you can achieve, it's okay to say no. That's something that I learned pretty late going in my business, where I just felt like, I didn't want to turn away a job. I didn't want to turn away money. I didn't want to turn away clients. And we'd get down the planning process and I would realize maybe this wasn't the right fit. And at that point, you've signed a contract. It's too late. So just understand that it's okay to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything just because it's a job. maintain your sanity and your mental health. That is just as important as maintaining your income. So just keep that in mind when you're getting started. Also, know and understand your worth and don't take a bunch of free jobs. In the beginning, I know it feels like you are just starting out. You may feel uncomfortable asking people for money for your services, and that's what the whole experience part of this is for. That's what helping your friends and family and their weddings is for. When you're putting yourself out there with a legitimate business, you should not be accepting free jobs. You should not be discounting yourself up the wazoo. This is the time to really know your worth and understand what you can provide for a client, communicating that with them and not backing down on that. It's okay to give, maybe do like offers, discounts, seasonal offers where you're taking, a certain percentage off your package, something like that. But do not steeply discount your services just so that you can make that booking, especially when people are bulldogging you for it because they know that you don't have the experience. Stand your ground and know your worth. Education is huge, and this is something that I think a lot of people kind of put on the back burner, or once they're started and taking on business, they're just focusing on the work and not the work for your business. And what I mean by that is education to further grow your knowledge on your skill set and what services that you are providing and the work that you're doing, and also running a business. If this is the first time you've owned a business, there's a lot that goes into that, and a lot of that is things that you learn as you're going. And if there's something that you don't understand or something that you could improve in, there are so many resources out there, whether it's YouTube videos, online courses, so many resources for you to learn and become a better business owner and a better wedding planner, photographer, coordinator, whatever it is that you're looking to do. There's a lot of education out there, and I highly recommend taking advantage of it. I've been doing this for going on 7 years now, and I constantly take new courses. I'm constantly trying to learn and better improve my craft, and I feel like there's always new things to learn and better ways to improve. And finally, ask yourself why you want to become a wedding planner. Is it because it sounds like a super fun job? Is it because it seems like a really glamorous experience? Your work is always around these really fun, beautiful events. Is it because you want to be your own boss and you want to set your own schedule and have your weekdays free and just work on the weekends? If any of those are your reasoning, I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to be really disappointed in becoming a wedding planner, because while those are all elements of the job, it is one teeny tiny little portion of the job. There's a lot of work that goes into becoming a wedding planner. There's a lot of details to deal with, a lot of communication with people in very highly emotional states, and there's a lot of work that goes into owning any kind of a business, no matter the industry you're in. And if you're just going into it because it sounds fun or it sounds like a glamorous experience, then you're gonna really have a rude awakening, and that's my honest opinion. So like I said, make sure that you're getting a lot of experience before you really jump into this, and understand that it's going to take a lot of work to create this business. That being said, don't quit your day job. Don't jump into this head first and think that, lots of people are getting married. Maybe you planned your own wedding and it went really well and you think that you'll do well at it. There's a lot of work that goes into building your own business. I worked for probably 4 years in other jobs while doing this on the side before I felt comfortable doing it completely full-time. And even still, that first year of just owning my company full-time was the hardest and most stressful year of my life, financially, mentally, emotionally, everything. So just really understand what you're getting yourself into, and make sure that you're not just taking some leap of faith without doing the proper research and having proper experience before diving in. So there's a basic overview of everything you need to know if you're thinking about becoming a wedding planner. If you want me to do more videos like this, or if you have additional questions on the process it takes to becoming a wedding planner, let me know in the comments below, and hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to get weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice, and we'll see you next week.